See, it is well known to us that mosquito females are ectoparasite. They are sanguivorous. They feed on the blood of warm-blooded animals like birds and mammals. So we should know that how does a female mosquito suck our blood. For this purpose, we can see its mouth parts. In this diagram, we are seeing the Culex female's head portion and its mouth parts. See, this upper portion is the head portion, which possesses a pair of compound eyes. And then on either side of its mouth parts, you can see the presence of a pair of antennae. So one antenna is here, this one is another antenna, and all along its length, you can see that there are bunches of bristles or hairs which are sensory in nature. Then inner to this, you can see the presence of maxillary palps. Particularly in Culex female, the size of maxillary palps are quite small, whereas in other species of mosquito, like in Anopheles or Aedes, the variations in maxillary palps will be there. But other structures are very similar. Like we can see here on the dorsal upper side, there is a structure, prominent structure, that is labrum epipharynx. This labrum epipharynx, it acts as a lid. I will tell about the role of this structure. Then in the central portion, you can see the presence of labium. This is labium. The terminal most portion is referred as labella. And this labium actually forms a grooved structure. And this grooved structure is used to suck the blood. Then on its either side, you can see long needle-like structures. Such structures are galli. See, this one is galli. That is one part of maxilla. You know, maxilla, a single one will have its galli. The other one will also have its galli. So a pair of galli, which are long structures. So these are seen. Then on either side of galli, you can see the presence of mandibles. Mandibles are also long elongated structures which are terminally very pointed, and they are used to cut the skin. And then you can see the presence of hypopharynx. This one is hypopharynx, which in case of biting and chewing mouth part acts as a tongue. So all these structures, they are well separated, but they act in articulation when the animal is active in feeding, because these structures will have to be inserted into a cut which will be made by the mandibles and also by the sharp portion of galli. The sharp portion of galli and mandibles actually make a cut, and then the entire structure will have to be inserted inside the wound so that the animal can feed upon. Now we can see this particular structure, particularly this terminal portion which is inserted inside the cut, how it is actually arranged when the animal is in feeding process. So in this diagram you see a cup-like structure, this broader lower portion, which is a cup-like depression. It is actually formed by the labium. This one is labium. Okay, and this cup-like structure is covered from upper side with the help of labrum epipharynx. So this one thicker portion is labrum, and just above to this is epipharynx. This is making a lid-like structure, and this space which is left here is the food channel, and through this food channel the blood will be sucked by the animal. So it acts just like a straw, a long straw which we use to suck the fluid content, exactly like a fine pipe. This food channel is formed, and on its either side you can see the mandibles are there. So here a dark structure mandible is present, and then behind this you can see the presence of galli, which are part of actually maxillae. So galli are there, and hypopharynx, it is also here present here, which contains a salivary groove through which the saliva will be poured. So we can have idea that exactly how the entire structures are arranged at the time of feeding. And as I said, the mandibles and galli are such a sharp structures that they are used to penetrate into the deeper part of the skin. Rather, the entire structure will have to be inserted to such an area where blood vessel is located so that animal can feed upon the blood content. So, although we are observing that these structures are well separated, but at the time of feeding, they are combined with each other. They are well in coordination and articulation so that they could be inserted in the deeper part of the body for sucking the blood content.